Hello once again, Barony enjoyers. It's me, the guy, Barony Jones Johnson, back with another class guide. The class featured in today's video is the religiously fueled Cleric. This used to be one of my favorite classes in the game. It's quite simple and easy to learn. So this class guide may end up being a bit shorter than others because there's not a lot to say here. It's kind of like the warrior where you just hit and then block, but you can do magic as well. Oh, hooray! The Cleric's starting inventory is a simple but very utilitarian one. Starting off with armor, you get a leather breastpiece, blessed iron bracers, a cloak, and a wooden shield. The only weapon you have is a blessed iron mace, and the rest of the inventory consists of a single piece of bread, 2 health potions, 3 scrolls of summon, and a torn spellbook of troll's blood. Your starting skills are even simpler, or really just lower in general. 25 swimming, 20 leadership, 20 alchemy, 25 magic, 25 casting, 10 blocking, and 25 maces. The skill levels here are pretty spread out among the non-weapon skills, with a lot of basic knowledge in various skills, but not having too much in any one category. You can do low-level magic, have decent alchemical knowledge, are a somewhat decent leader, can swim faster than the average goblin, are able to block anything straight from the beginning, and you're pretty good with a mace. The Cleric has a very simple playstyle, one which I believe newer players can get the hang of very quickly. You will primarily be a tank, using melee combat for most fights, but you also have levels in magic and casting that makes it very easy to start using magic pretty regularly. Don't be mistaken though, it's not a perfect split between melee and magic. It's more like a 70% melee and 30% magic. In this way, it's the exact opposite of the healer, but both classes fill a support role, so the Cleric just does it to a lesser degree. I'm tempted to say the Cleric is almost as easy as the Warrior for new players, but you still have to work for your magic ability, so it's not a free ticket to winning the game by any means. All this is to say, in a single-player game, you are perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. You can use your Scrolls of Summon to divert aggro among your minions, and use that Book of Troll's Blood to increase you and your minions' health regeneration. If you get a little too close to death, you got 2 health potions to remedy that. In multiplayer, however, there's a little bit more to it. For one thing, you'll act as a tank for the squishier members of your party. Take care to remember that you're not the best at it though, so leave the trolls to the warrior or monk of the group. At the same time, whenever the party is collectively low on health, pop that troll's blood spell and play it a little safer for a while so your health can regen. Also, make sure to not burn the spellbook before you can learn the spell, because that's where a lot of your usefulness comes from. If your casters are slacking off, or attempting to become a brewer halfway through the game, you can pick up the slack and become a caster yourself, while still remaining tanky and proficient in melee encounters. You can do this by either casting from memory, or keep a single spellbook on hand, and just cast from that. I haven't mentioned it yet, but the Cleric is one of those classes that majorly benefits from playing with Hunger on, because if you play with Hunger turned off, your Troll's Blood will still work, but not nearly as good. Continuing the trend of being relatively simple, the ideal weapon for the Cleric is Sharur. This is a great thing, because Sharur is one of the more common artifact weapons, since it is dropped by 2 different NPCs and can be bought from the sewer merchant by giving him the blue orb. If you don't want to use maces, however, you're in luck, because you only have 25 in your maces skill. That's low enough that if you wanted to instead use polearms or maybe axes, you won't suffer too much from the lower damage output. Your damage output won't matter that much anyway, because right from the beginning of the game, the only thing you can't block with a shield is trolls, so after a bit of block grinding, you can just use torches to block any incoming damage. In the case of recommended armor, there's actually a few ways you could go. Being one of the more tanky classes, you can of course wear all the heavy shit, but since you're also a caster, anything that increases your intelligence is also a very good choice. You can choose between simply getting more AC from a helmet, or wear a circlet for more magic damage, or you could wear a mitre to increase your healing spell efficacy. The leadership-oriented headpieces are also decent options, but I personally think the Cleric works better as a tanky mage rather than a minion collector. They tend to die anyway. If you don't care about any of those, you could just do what I did and wear the Potato King's Blessed Jester hat for most of the game. You may not need the charisma, but it's got good bonus AC, is very stylish, and weighs almost nothing. Miscellaneous item recommendations are the same as usual. Magic effect items, skeleton keys, alembics, you know the list by now. Wouldn't you know it, the race synergies are also very simple because everything works here. The only 2 races that have an issue are Incubus and Succubus, because the Blessed Bracers and Mace are going to be stuck on you until they break. The Succubus can ignore this, as it starts with Polymorph memorized, but if you decide to play Incubus, well, you're shit out of luck, buddy. You do get Arcane Mark though, so it's not all bad. Every other race works perfectly fine here. It's up to you to decide what bonuses you'd rather have. In short, summon 1,000 minions to protect your own life, fumble the alchemy system till you decide to just spam fireball, and become the bane of every skeleton within the mines. That's all for the Cleric. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and keep consuming my Barony slop.